Wow, what an amazing group of people, and we do. We feel we do work with wonderful, amazing, intelligent, vibrant, forward-thinking people. So here are some of the people that we do business with. Just in terms of what we're going to be covering, our talk is not going to be long. What we're going to do is we're going to be looking at what is our purpose, who we are, and what we do. So in terms of our purpose, a lot of you will have heard me use the word dancing with the future as it emerges. And it's one of the concepts that we came up with when we looked at what is it about leaders and teams and organizations that are so successful with this future rushing at them that they are able to be balanced and nimble and agile. And part of that is where the leader and the team have got a high level of self-awareness and that they're able to be balanced. The other thing with Dancing with the Future is we look at it, our purpose, as working with individuals and teams and organizations to say, what is the future you want? So it's not that you're passive in Dancing with the Future, you play a proactive role. You are part of it. You are part of the co-creating of your future. So our purpose is really to encourage you to write your own stories, to write your own narrative, not just be an actor in the play, but actually start to write the script of the play. Having said that, at True North we feel very strongly that we are operating within an ecosystem. We are part of a larger whole. So it's not ecosystem thinking where you write your own future and great, you're well, you're happy and sorry about everyone else. It's about part of my future is I'm writing my future with the people around me in mind. And we are creating an amazing, fantastic future together. So with Dancing with the Future, our purpose, put very simply, just to recap, is about encouraging people to write their stories where they feel empowered. And what we do at True North is we try and partner with you to provide the tools to help you write your story so that you don't feel like things are happening to you, that you're actually working with what's around you. Okay, so in terms of what we do, I'm just finishing off with the Paths of Excellence, the leadership program. And we've been running this program since 2009. It is very dear to our hearts because, as Sue says, a lot of the coaching is expensive. And it often doesn't include groups of people, teams, and what we started exploring is to say, how can we take people on a kind of group coaching journey where they're able to look at themselves, look at the team, and where the groups are small enough. We don't typically take more than 12 people, except with Michelle Slabbert. You seem to be negotiating a lot with us. Oh, nobody speak to Michelle. And so we have groups of 12 people so that it's highly, highly interactive. And people go on a personal journey. And what we look at are things like who you are in the world, what your values are, what the team's values are, how to delegate successfully, how to make effective requests, candid conversations, what it means to have a candid conversation. And some of these you'll see in your role as a leader and as people in teams. Think about the times where you need to have a candid conversation. And it can be a make or break. Or think about the times where you have to revisit your value system and say, is this in line with what I'm thinking and feeling? And again, with the making effective requests. Powerful people make requests all the time. And it's from the time you get up to the time you go to bed, you are busy making different requests. How can you do that in a way that is impactful and meaningful? So those are some of the things that we look at. The question that I want to pose to you is, how does being an authentic leader assist with change? How does being an authentic leader assist with change? It's become a burning topic. It is, since 2004, there have been a number of now articles and papers written on it. And part of what I'm doing with that master's program with Oxford is I'm looking at what role does it play if people can express themselves to the bottom line? What is the connection? If teams can say what they're thinking and feeling, how much impact does it have on bottom line? And the reason why this topic of authenticity is becoming so critical is because there are a lot of failed businesses because of inauthenticity. So there's a danger around that, where it's becoming a burning topic because people are seeing the pain that when it's not there, that it's causing. I always like to go back to the root word, and the root is authento, and that means to have full power, whereby the individual becomes the master of his or her domain. So when we look at authenticity, it very much is writing your story. how does being an authentic leader assist with change? So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a little bit of context of what I mean and what True North means by what it means to be authentic and an authentic leader. The first thing is that when we talk about an authentic leader, there's a myth or a misnomer that you've got authentic leaders and inauthentic leaders. Guess what? There's a continuum. And there's a danger that it puts on leaders to say, you have to be an authentic leader. Because the irony is that in trying to be an authentic leader, you become inauthentic. So one of the things, and this is from a lot of research that I've been doing, is that this is coming up as a challenge. We're looking at authentic leadership, and just through the research, leaders who are mainly authentic are feeling, oh, if I say this, if I do this, I'm not being authentic. So I want to nip that in the bud right now before we have the discussions. It's on a continuum, and there's one paper that talks about the pseudo-authentic leader. And there are a number of papers that challenge that. There is no pseudo-authentic leader. And sometimes you're going to be really authentic and sometimes you're not. It's to be human. It's to be human. So that's the first thing. The second thing is with an authentic leader, your authentic leader can be participative in style, directive in style. There's no particular leadership style. And again, here's a huge debate that's raging at the moment, is that you can have a ruthless authentic leader. For the purposes of our discussion, we are taking the stand that with authenticity, you do have a strong moral framework. So, and again, a lot of the papers support that because it's looking at, we are operating from looking at the whole ecosystem rather than just saying, I'm ruthless and I'm authentic. Think about some of the leaders in our world, they might be perceived like that. For the purposes of today, what are your values? So authentic leaders have very strong values. They know who they are. They know what they stand for. They know what they will and won't put up with. So authentic leaders have a strong sense of self-awareness. Authentic leaders are able to build strong relationships. So they're able to collaborate and they're able to mobilize both people within their teams and people in other teams as well. Authentic leaders are, if you think about that saying, know thyself. They just going back to that, they really know who they are. There are going to be times where they feel that they're being tested with their value system. That is understandable. There are constraints within organizations. So we're looking at self-awareness, relationships, value systems. The challenge lies in that you can be an authentic leader, but some of the papers are also looking at the fact that what about your followers? Sometimes they're not authentic. And you can't force somebody to find meaning in their work. You can't force somebody to be authentic. You can influence your style, but you can't force your followers to do X in a certain way. So that's just looking at authenticity as a whole. So this is, as I said, really hot topic at the moment. How does being an authentic leader assist with change? Given the constraints in organizations, they're the constraints of power, they're the constraints of time, and they're the constraints of where the organization wants X and the individual wants Y. So we are driven by bottom line, we are driven by profit. What happens if being authentic means you say to your clients, we are failing in this area? So sometimes we will not do that. So it's about also being mindful of the constraints and the challenges. Enjoy, and we'll see you just now.